Okay. Post-match reaction from the Arsenal City match. 0-0 draw or tie, as we'd say in North American sports. We'll call it a draw. There's a few big talking points, from an Arsenal perspective, mainly is what I'll be looking at this from. First of all, I really enjoyed the match. I really did. I know it was a cagey affair. I know people may criticize one team, Arsenal, or both teams for not maybe fully going after it. But listen, as an Arsenal fan over the years, going to City and not being pragmatic and not playing smart and not closing the gaps and leaving ourselves open to City has led to us getting absolutely demolished by them time after time after time, including last year. So just the fact that we're there and we're competing with them and we draw 0-0, we don't give up any goals, we barely give up a sniff. Yes, there were a couple chances for City. There were also a couple chances for Arsenal. It could have went either way. It could have been 1-0 Arsenal, could have been 1-0 City. It could have been 2-0 Arsenal, 2-0 City, 2-1. But not much more than that. I think if all chances went in, all the big chances, it might have been 2-2. But how often does every big chance go in a match? So as an Arsenal fan who's experienced that history with City the last 6, 7, 8 years, I'm ecstatic with where we are. First of all, we've taken 4 points from City. We've taken 4 points from Liverpool. That's 8 points from those two teams total. While those two teams have taken a total of 6 points from each other and from us. So each of them 3 and us 8. So that's a 5-point difference. Now, it's too bad we dropped points in December when we had that little poor run, but it is what it is. This team is growing. And this, for me, is just another step in the right direction. 4 points from City, 4 points from Liverpool. I'll take that every single season, as long as they are as good as they are. Now, from the match specifically, we have 2 outstanding center backs. Saliba and Gabriel. That Saliba, Gabriel, Haaland, De Bruyne battle, mainly Gabriel and Haaland, and a little bit Saliba and Haaland, was so fun to watch. That was so fun to watch. And we clearly got the better of that battle. Haaland hardly had a sniff. He did have a chance at the end. He really did. And I'm surprised it wasn't talked about more. I think he tried to play it back across to I think it was Ruben Diaz that was there and might have had a tap in. But if you're a striker, if you're Haaland, if you're the best goal scorer in the world, for me, you just need to put that in the net. I know it was a tight angle. I know Raya was there, but the best players, the best strikers throughout history typically put that in the net. But besides that, which was a chance off of a corner, off of was a flicked on header, he didn't have a sniff. And I was a little bit worried because what was it, like the first minute or so into the match, Haaland got in behind us. Then Saliba made a great tackle and he was also offside. But after that, he didn't get a sniff. But you know what? I really enjoy watching Haaland play. Him going in like to me, he's like a crazy Viking. He goes in head first, headbutting people. He headbutted Saliba a couple times, and good for Saliba for standing up and for getting up every time and continuing to battle. And Gabriel and Haaland got into it verbally a few times. I love that. I love the battles. That is what football is all about. It's all about entertainment and emotion. And that, to me, was enjoyable to watch. People may say it wasn't the back and forth affair that Liverpool-Man City was, but there's other things to enjoy. For the purists, the football purists, that was fun. I don't want every match to be like that. I don't want every Arsenal match to be like that. I don't even really want every Arsenal City match to be like that. But there is something beautiful about a match like that. There really, really, really is. And I, for one, really enjoyed it. Now, other points, I thought we were good overall. I thought clearly Saka probably was worst game of the season, or one of his most ineffective matches of the season. Though he worked hard. I think he was injured. I think he's hurt. I think he's injured. We keep hearing about this Achilles issue he's been nursing. And I think it's pretty clear that he was injured. He was limping a lot. And I heard Charles watch this post-game reaction, and in that he talked about how Saka was limping many times from like the first few minutes of the game. So I think he's nursing something. And it's great that we have Luton Town next. Yes, Luton. We can rest him. Hopefully Martinelli, because it was just a cut on his foot, and it may just be a bit more of a fitness thing with him, so he may not have 90 minutes in him, but it's not like a muscle or a ligament thing, which is fantastic. I think maybe we can start him against Luton. Regardless, we have options now. Gabby Jesus on the left, people will say, well, he overplayed in the box, he had a couple chances, he didn't score. He's not a clinical striker, that's not what he does. But he is a fantastic squad player. To have a guy like that we can take off the bench and put into a game like this against Man City, who does create a little bit of havoc, a little bit of chaos, who does his job defensively, who doesn't shy away, who's played in big matches, who's played in big Champions League matches. I don't know if he's played in finals. I don't think so. But wait, maybe he has. No, he hasn't. I don't know. Maybe he has. Maybe he hasn't. Doesn't matter. He's played in big matches. He's won titles. He's played in big matches for Brazil. Have a guy like that off the bench. Let's go. We haven't had that in years. And then to be able to bring a guy like Tomiyasu off the bench, who looked a little rusty on the ball, but overall, physically, you see what he brings. Being able to bring a guy like Thomas Partey now off the bench, who I thought had a pretty good cameo. I thought, man, the composure he had and some of the shimmies and some of the little touches and the balls forward were very impressive for me, especially considering his first two cameos were terrible. They were horrible. And historically, him coming back from a long-term injury typically takes him some time. He's made some mistakes in the past in those games. Soon after injury, where it's like, whoa, wait, who are you? A professional football player, bro? So that's an incredible luxury to have. I thought Ben White was really good. Everyone battled. That's the main thing. Everyone battled, and City did too. Credit to City. That was a great match. I listened to some post-match reactions, and people banter and talk crap each way. From a completely objective point of view, I think it was a draw. Maybe you could say City carried more of the play in the offensive end and the attacking third, and good, so be it. It was at the Etihad, but they never really had a sniff, other than off of two corners. Those were their only two chances. Other than the Ake chance and the Haaland chance towards the end, they never had a sniff. And, I haven't even talked about Rice yet. Rice was, defensively, he was there. It wasn't his most influential game, attacking-wise and on the ball. And I thought he actually began to look a little bit leggy towards the end. I saw him running, and he looked a little tired, which is shocking, right? Because he seems to be able to run all day, every day. But the guy's played like every minute this season, and he just played 180 minutes for England in the past week or so. Odegaard. First of all, huge respect for his engine. That man can run for days and days and days and days, and it is impressive. And that man works, and that man works, and that man cares. And I love that engine of his, and I love the care, and I love the want to win. However, he did also have a couple chances to really play that killer final ball, and it wasn't there today. It just wasn't. And I have seen this in big matches with him before, where it's almost like a little touch of nerves hits him right. I've got the chance to play that final ball, and it's almost like it gets to his mind, gets to his head. He's still young, though. You know what? Overall, great game. He did play a beautiful ball to Trossard at the end, towards the end, and Trossard should have gotten over to Martinelli, man. I have a feeling Martinelli wouldn't have scored. It was just my feeling. I saw it kind of playing off in my head. I said, hey, he needs to take literally either first time or take one touch and play with his left foot across to Martinelli. For some reason, I didn't feel like Martinelli was going to score. Maybe because he had a long layoff and just to get thrown in full speed. He did have someone running next to him as well. To take a touch and finish, it's yes, they're professional footballers, but I don't know. It's also can be difficult. But yeah, I'm just proud. I'm really proud of that team, man. And Arteta nullified Guardiola to an extent. In terms of attacking-wise, he nullified him. But you could also say Guardiola nullified Arteta in our attack. Although I think we had the better, even the little split opportunities early on in the match when Jesus played that little ball. He hit the ball on the left side of the box, and Havertz made a run. Havertz made a run in behind someone, and Jesus just played a ball, and it was just overhit. Havertz slid in and caught a piece of Ortega, and it was a foul. Those moments there, those are the small things. And those are the things with Gabriel. It's just like that final ball. And I heard someone say it the other day. It's strange because he's so technically gifted. And they said, but he's like a baby in front of goal. It's like he turns into a baby, and I can get it. I won't say it that way, but it is. He has that like technical ability all over the pitch and the dribble and the touch. He had one instance where the ball was, I don't know if it was Raya who kicked it long. I think it was a drop kick. And the ball was like way up in the sky. It was coming down. And he had a bigger defender on him. It might have been a Kanji. It might have been, I can't remember who played right back for City. I can't even remember now. It wasn't Guardiola. That was the other side. Early on, it was a Kanji. Oh, Rico Lewis. I don't think it was Rico Lewis. It's a bigger guy. It was a much bigger guy than Gabriel. And he just gave him a last-minute bump with his back, stuck his foot out, and the ball stuck to his foot. He took it down like incredibly well, under pressure, moved like with physical contact. And those moments are like, wow, that is incredible skill. But then in the final third, something seems to happen to him. Something just seems to happen. Kind of like Odegaard with a couple of the passes today, although Odegaard overall is more consistent with that final ball and his finishing. So I think, in the summer we'll buy a striker who has that finish and hopefully has that playmaking ability as well. And what a player to have as a squad player, Gabi Jesus. 2 seasons ago, he was a squad player for Man City. Now he's a squad player for Arsenal. So, looking at the two teams, that just goes to show how much stronger we've gotten. Last season, early on, he was our main player. And now, after we buy a striker this summer, even without that, right now, if everyone's fit right now, Gabi Jesus doesn't get into the starting lineup for me. Havertz starts up top. And today Havertz was okay. It was a difficult game. He hardly had any service. I think he put in a shift, as he always does. He ran, he put himself about. He was disciplined. The whole squad was disciplined. I say Jorginho. I was watching Jorginho and towards the end of the first half, and I thought to myself, I haven't noticed him once. And that's twofold. That's a positive and maybe a bit of a negative. But it's a negative in the fact that he just wasn't influencing the game offensively on the ball. That's just more a reflection of we didn't have the ball in the attacking third, or we didn't have much of the ball at all in the game, but really in the first half, both halves actually. But it's not like they were running around him, because the criticism of Jorginho in the past has been, he gets beat in the middle, he leaves massive pockets of space, and guys like De Bruyne, you would think, would be able to take advantage of that. Well, they didn't, because he's a very cerebral player. If you watch him play, he's always in the right place. He knows where to be. He knows when to be there. He knows how to use his stamina efficiently and not overdo it. He knows his limitations. He's a very cerebral player, and that's why I hope we do re-sign him, because I think even though he might still lose a little bit more pace, he's got pretty much none to start with now anyway, but he makes up for that lack of pace to an extent with the cerebral nature of his play and his ball-playing ability, especially in the games where we're going to be more on the attack. So, fantastic. Man of the match for me, and I heard this a lot. Saliba got it, and Saliba was fantastic. But Gabriel. For me, Gabriel was the man of the match. He, not just for his incredible performance, but also the chatter with Haaland at the end of the game. Even there was still some stuff going on, and like he's a serious dude, man. He's an intense dude. I wouldn't want to, with that guy. I wouldn't want to F with that guy. I'm not sure if I'm going to swear yet on this channel. I do in life, so maybe I will a little bit here. I try not to as much, but yeah, I wouldn't want to fuck with him. And at the end of the match, even I love that little interaction after the final whistle. Arsenal, City players are shaking hands, hugs, whatever, and then the camera pans to Gabriel and Haaland, and they're going at it. And Haaland, you can tell he's trying to be the nice guy, and fair to him, in fairness to him, like, fair play to him is what I'm trying to say. At that point, there's no need to really, battle with someone, continue the battle with someone. But I loved Gabriel. I loved the passion. I loved the anger. I loved the intimidation. I think he did intimidate Haaland to an extent. Maybe not in the fact he's not as big as Haaland, and he's maybe not as fast. He might be as strong though, and I think he's a little crazier. Haaland's crazy. I think Gabriel's crazier. And when I say crazy, I mean like they put themselves about, and which one would you rather have your back in a fight. And hopefully you never get into a fight. I never plan on getting any sort of street fight. But if there was danger around, would I choose Haaland or Gabriel to have my back? Gabriel. And those players are so key in sports, in general in sports. I watch hockey, I watch football, American football. By the way, I don't know why it's called American. I don't know why it's called football. You don't really play with your feet. You throw the ball. There's 2 actions, the kicks and punts that you use your feet with. The rest is all hands. So I don't know why they call it football. Why we? I guess I'm kind of North American. I'm Canadian. I'm not American though. Whereas football, like you actually play with your feet, like soccer, European football, you actually play with your foot. So it makes sense to me. Anyway, you need those players in every single type of sport, especially in these big matches, especially in these title run-ins, especially, by the way, what this match gave me so much confidence for, because I predicted an Arsenal win. I said if everyone was fit, we would win 3-1. And I was off, admittedly. And if I had gone back and rewatched the first match between City and Arsenal, I think I probably would have predicted this differently, maybe a 1-0 Arsenal. I still felt we were going to win, especially if we had Martinelli and Saka fit. Clearly Saka wasn't fit, and Martinelli obviously wasn't fit enough to play the more than like 15 minutes or so at the end. You need these kinds of players in these matches, and we have a few now, and it's fun. We have athletes. It's fun being an Arsenal fan again. We are in a title race against City and Liverpool, the best 2 teams in the Premier League the past decade or so, 7-8 years at least. We're right in the thick of it with them. We may win, we may not win. We're the youngest team out of the 3, and I believe overall. I'm pretty sure we are. And with the youngest manager, the least experienced manager of the 3, and we're right there with them. Whether we win or not, I don't know. We do have probably the toughest fixture list, but I was just listening to an instant reaction, another instant reaction, and like they were saying, everyone's running is difficult. It's the Premier League, man. There are almost no easy matches in the Premier League. This year, there's 2 or 3 teams that are, okay, probably easy matches. But like West Ham, Villa, Brighton, Spurs, Man U. Yeah, maybe some people might say some of those teams are in shambles on and off, but on any given day, those teams can cause anyone troubles. And we've seen it. We've seen Arsenal drop points to some of those teams. We've seen City drop points to some of those teams. We've seen Liverpool drop points to some of those teams. I didn't watch the match today, but did Liverpool win 2-1 against Brighton at home? I mean, that's not an annihilation by any stretch of the imagination. So who's to say? And I've seen Liverpool just squeak out many a win against many of these teams all season. And at one point last year with Arsenal, it was kind of like that. You know, at one point we started squeaking out wins. It was no longer the domination from earlier on in the season. And I did have a feeling eventually it would catch up with us, and it did. It did. We dropped points. And it may or may not catch up with Liverpool. They're a different team, different experience, different manager. They've been there before. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do drop points against some of these teams. And City would be the one team that I look at going, they could win all their matches. But I don't think they will. I think all 3 teams are still going to drop points. So I don't know who's going to win. I'm just going to enjoy the ride. As an Arsenal fan, I see comments online, people going, yeah, if we don't win this match, I saw yesterday, if we don't win this match, or if we don't know. No, it was the Arsenal Instagram channel page posted a bit of a recap or a flashback to our win at the Emirates this season against City. And I liked it. I enjoyed it. I loved that game. I really enjoyed that match as well. And I enjoyed the reel. I liked it. And I saw the top comment was like, it's going to mean nothing if we don't win the title. And I'm like, I was there watching that match. I watched that match. To me, it meant something. And so you can't take that away from me because it meant something at the time. I can't go back and take the meaning away from it. And it still does. Looking back, it was fun to watch those highlights. And today's match means something to me too. Every single time we win, every time we score, it means something. It really does. I'm enjoying the ride. So you can choose not to enjoy the ride and only base your happiness on the end result. But if you do that in life, you're not going to enjoy life. Life's all about the process. Life's all about the process. And there's actually more beauty in lessons than there are in successes. And there are more failures than successes. All successful people, all successful teams, all successful players, everyone who's ever had success in their life has to fail more than they succeed. Even Guardiola. How many times did he fail in the Champions League before he finally succeeded with City, that City team? You know? So I'm enjoying this process. And I want to win the title. Don't get me wrong. I want to win the league. But I'm not going to sit here and go, my entire happiness on this team depends on whether or not they win the title and or the Champions League. No, I'm happy now. I'm happy to be enjoying, especially if I look back to even like 3 years ago. 3 years ago, it was a bit of a shambles, wasn't it? And it was for years and years before that too. 5 or 6 years, 4, 5, 6 years, it was going down like this. So I'm going to enjoy this. I'm soaking all of this in. I'm enjoying every single moment of it. And I recommend you do too. Why not? Why not enjoy it? Life is here to be enjoyed, not stressed about all the time. Stress will kill you in the end of the day anyway. That may seem harsh, but stress does kill. Stress is a killer. So don't stress too much. It's just a game. It's here for entertainment. I love you guys. I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, we're going to get used to it. Like and subscribe. Like I said on my last video, and we're going to have 5,000 likes, 10,000 likes, 15,000 likes, 30,000 likes, 50,000 likes. We're going to be working our way up. It's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy every second of the process. There might be 1 subscriber right now, 2 subscribers. I don't care. I'm having fun doing this, and that's what life is all about. And I want you to do the same as well. All right, enough of the life lessons, guys. I love you. Big match against Luton. Not sure when it is, midweek, Tuesday or Wednesday. So I'll be back either before then or after then for a preview, maybe some transfer talk. After then for a reaction. Peace. Love you guys.